It's Alan Blinder, a professor of economics at Princeton University, also the former vice chairman of the Federal Reserve. And in your career, Alan, you had fought the bond vigilantes when you were in the Clinton administration. This is all off of your Wall Street Journal editorial earlier this week about this. And you say essentially that the bond vigilantes have it right in Europe.
Well, they have it right, but they always go to extremes. That's the nature of a vigilante mob. I mean, they do have it right that in Greece and a variety of other countries in Europe, and by the way, also in the United States, the long-run fiscal position is kind of out of control and needs to be reined back.
And yet you have comments again from Angela Merkel, the German chancellor, who is saying that, look, they're going to keep the euro intact. She's saying that the rescue bill is an important step in all of this. And again, continuing to attack hedge funds and speculators, saying that we need more regulation on that front. Is she just misguided or what?
Well, I think it's very understandable. I guess it's a little misguided in the sense that what you want to do is try to attack the root causes that have got the speculators upset. There are some places where speculation goes to extremes, and maybe there's something to do about that. For example, there's a big hue and cry about naked CDS, for example. But by and large, what speculators react to are actual events or prospective events, and they go in the right direction, selling or buying, but they tend to exaggerate the magnitude. And that's why in a situation like this, you want to try to calm them down.
And they don't give the countries the time to get it right. That's the problem, right?
No, absolutely. And that's one of the points I made in that piece, that right now with the economies in Europe and around the world, for the most part, still kind of weak and kind of limping out of the recession, this is not a great time for a fiscal retrenchment. But later we need to do that.
But Alan, as I mentioned, you had to deal with bond vigilantes when you were in the Clinton administration. What do you think was key to make them go away? Well,
I think the key was the credibility, and this is very difficult, the credibility of the pledge to do significant deficit reduction in the future. In that first Clinton budget, we did not really reduce the deficit much at all. It was trivial. But things were put in place that were going to reduce the deficit substantially in coming years. And they had credibility, and the markets bought it. And there was a big bond market rally in the U.S. now.
Okay, so then compare that to what we're seeing right now. Are we forming the basis of some credibility that would spark a bond rally?
I don't think you see it yet. I don't think you see it. You certainly don't see it in the United States, although the problems now are in Europe. In Greece, you have this IMF program and a pledge to cut the budget deficit by an enormous amount. You also have demonstrations in the streets by Greeks not wanting to do it. It's not so clear that this is going to get done.
And Alan, I just have to ask you, you think they're going to come to the U.S. here eventually?
Oh, yes. Oh, yes. I think right now they're having as much fun as they need in Europe. And in fact, we're benefiting by being the safe haven. As you see, U.S. Treasury rates are going down, not up. But eventually they will turn on us if we don't do something about it. Okay, so we are literally on borrowed time, perhaps, with these bond vigilantes. Alan, good to talk with you. Thank you so much for joining us. Alan Blinder, a professor of economics at Princeton University.